tools that you will need are a 13 millimeter wrench and a 1/8 inch Allen wrench. We recommend a wrench over socket because if you have to make any adjustments on the rail, a socket won't fit. So the first step in the assembly process is to loosen these set screws. There are 2 set screws here on the top, and we're going to loosen them so we can fit the bolts in the hole. Next, we have in your carriage hardware bags, you should have 4 bearings, 4 of these lock washers, 2 nuts, and 4 8mm screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a bearing and slip it over the screw, followed by a lock washer, and then the 4 holes that we're concerned with are the 2 tapped holes here and the 2 slotted holes right up here, and these are where the bearings are going to be inserted to. So we're going to insert this assembly into the bottom hole with the thread, and we're going to screw it down by hand and then tighten. So tighten it down until it's snug, make sure the bearing spins freely, and then we're going to repeat the process with the second threaded hole. So bearing first, followed by the lock washer, and then screw the entire assembly into the threaded hole. And then tighten down. The lock washers should prevent the bolts from coming undone during use. Next, we're going to create the same assembly, but we are going to put it into the slotted hole. And when we put it into the slotted hole, we're going to take the nut, and the slot is on the back side here, so we're going to insert the bearing opposite of this slot, and then we're going to put a nut on here and just twist down until it's finger tight. We don't want to tighten this down yet because we have to adjust the carriages on the the bearings on the actual rail. And so we're going to repeat for the other side here. Again, just getting finger tight. Now we're ready to slip the carriages over the rail. And you can do this with the rail already mounted, or you can do this with the rail unmounted, just sliding over the rail. I like to do it with the rails mounted because that way you can't mix up the carriages and which rails go to which, and sometimes I've had to readjust if I forget. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide this assembly onto the rail, and notice how it's too tight here and it won't quite slide on. Alright, there it goes. So if it's too tight, what you can do is you can back this top set screw out a little bit, and then back this top set screw out, and that bearing should be able to slide up a little bit more. So now what we're going to do is we are going to just tighten down the set screws until we have basically a finger tightening. And what you want to have happen at this point is we want to be able to roll it along the rail, and we want to see both. We basically want to see all the wheels turn here. So if you don't see all the wheels turn, and you may have to look at the bottom wheels for this, but if you don't see all the wheels turn, you want to tighten this up a little bit more. What we don't want to what we don't want to do is tighten it up so tight that you really gotta, push it on the rails. We don't want that. We want to be able to, I want to be able to take my pinky finger and just slowly push it and slowly push it. Now, you may be able to push it easily in some spots, and when you hit, and then you get to a point on the rail and you hit a rough patch, adjust it so you can slide it easily along the entire rail. So after we're done adjusting that, we're going to tighten these top bearings up. And so this is where the wrench comes in handy, because some of the carriages require, most of the carriages require these bearings to be on the bottom here between the rail, and there's no way you can get a socket set down underneath here. So we're going to tighten these bearings up, and after we tighten these bearings up, we are just going to double check to make sure that we are completely engaged on the rack. Alright, so we just double check that all the wheels are rolling here, and we're good. If all the wheels are not rolling when you tighten it up, just loosen these up slightly and readjust the bearings, and then everything should be good. Note that you can slide the carriage. You should be able to slide the carriage off the end and re-slide it on the end of the rail here with a, it probably takes a little bit of difficulty, but you should be able to get it on, get it on both sides and have it good and snug to the rail. So I hope this assembly video helps, and if you have any questions, you can always email us, Nate at finelineautomation.com.